Hello, everybody. It's me again, the guy with no name. What we're gonna do is gonna break down. We're gonna go over week 2 in the NFL. I gotta watch my time because YouTube doesn't allow me to um, upload videos longer than 15 minutes. Besides, who the hell wants to listen to me talk for 15 freaking minutes? Okay, so week 2, a lot less action in my opinion, or a lot less. Week 1 was more exciting. Week 1 is really something, and considering that we were all waiting for football that mattered, and that week 1 really delivered. It was exciting. This week, well, not so many games that were so close, but we still had a couple of good old-fashioned shootouts, some defensive games, and whatever. Things are shaping up as far as divisions, and there's some storylines going on over here. Let's start with Thursday night game here. Okay, so we got the New York Jets playing at Buffalo. So the line started out, I think it was the Jets by 1. So the line, well, it was a Thursday night game, so you couldn't really wait for that one to move. I thought the Jets would win by that 1 point, giving away that 1 point, and they didn't. It was a game 1 to 37-31. Biggest storyline of this game, 31 points thrown up by Buffalo, 37 points by the Jets. Kind of a shootout. Just looking back here, what Buffalo did. Buffalo threw in 7 points. So 31 points it's looking better offensively. Still there, that's the big storyline in the NFL right now. The Buffalo is just firing guys, and they're doing personnel changes, and it's just not looking. It's like almost like a drama. As I saw in the news, guy that was a former Buffalo Bill said it's always the same old thing, finger pointing up there. I kind of get the same vibe up there. I mean, they had ownership problem or changeover a little bit not too long ago. It just feels like a soap opera up there or something. It would be interesting if we can listen to some of their sports talk. I bet you that. Well, I mean, there's nothing else up in Buffalo besides hockey, but I'm sure they're just having a fit, considering I think they're 0-2. Yeah, they are 0-2. So that's the biggest takeaway from that game. Buffalo is just a mess. They're throwing up 31 points, which is great. So the New York Jets, they're throwing up 22 points last week, 37 points this week. Defense looks decent. Tennessee at Detroit. The line said Detroit by 6. Detroit, I went with that, giving those 6 points, drawing the line in the sand. Detroit, in another tight one, determined by the kicking game, they lost 16-15. Not as much as a shootout from last week. Tennessee, Mariota, 16 points, didn't look good. Well, neither did Detroit. So, I mean, that was the biggest takeaway there. Just another tough game for Detroit. I mean, they won one with close, and they lost another close one. So, that's the takeaway there. Kansas City at Houston. Houston beat the Bears last week. You know, I'm a Bears fan here. Tennessee, not Tennessee. Kansas City. Well, pardon me. Kansas City seems to be an okay team. And a little bit of a shootout with San Diego last week. So this was a low-scoring affair, 12-19. Houston. I didn't pick this game. Houston. The line was going from -2, or Houston taking -2. You know, Houston won. Houston actually did win by a bigger margin. So Houston's a legit team. Kansas City, well, I think they still have some work to do, in my opinion. We'll see how things pan out in that game. Really, not really nothing to take away from that. In my opinion, I mean, it's just a regular run-of-the-mill game for us right now. Baltimore at Cleveland. Well, Cleveland's 0-2. They're starting to panic down there too, but I mean, they really don't have any personnel. I mean, RG3, the guy that was supposed to, you know, with a lot of upside, it's just not happening. So, in the quarterback issues, there is the biggest takeaway. They're 0-2. They need to do something. I mean, I think these are the guys that have that rookie just basically sitting on their bench. Doesn't make a lot of sense there. I don't know what I don't know. I mean, maybe they're gonna wow us with something crazy within the next couple of games. Baltimore taking care of business. Score was 25-20. I did pick Baltimore to win. They barely covered. Um, Baltimore looking like, Baltimore and Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, those three teams usually involved in shootouts. Kind of way I like the AFC North. Aside from the Browns this year, it's always an exciting race to watch. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, 16-24. The line said Pittsburgh by 3.5. Went down to 3. I thought they would cover, and they did. Pittsburgh looking alive, looking at Cincinnati also, but they just didn't have it. They didn't have it this time. Something's going on with that running game, from what I remember. I think Giovanni Bernard had actually a decent game in the past hours, like hell better. Pittsburgh's for real. We all know that. I think they'll take it again this year. I mean, it's early in the season. It's only week 2, but we'll see. Dallas at Washington. Dallas 27 to, what is that? Is that 23? 27-23. I think. It's the score. So yeah. I actually thought that Dallas would win. I think the line said Washington being at home that they would win. Of course, they really didn't think Dak Prescott was much. I didn't think it was that much either, but I didn't think Washington was. I don't put a lot of stock in the quarterback here, Washington's quarterback, Cousins. He's been in the starting situation before. I didn't see any flashes from him then. And again, I don't see any flashes from him again this time around. I don't really see it. Prescott looking on the other side, the quarterback, really taking care of business, and it shows. I mean, they won 27-23, beating the odds in Vegas and all that stuff. So yeah, those guys are for real. It would be interesting to see when Romo comes back and see what they'll do there. I mean, I don't think the guy did way too, or did like anything really, really impressive, but hell, you got the job done. Let's just take a peek real fast what's going on in the East over there. Cowboys are 1-1, so they lost last week. Still, after losing the skipper there, I mean, it's still not bad. He looks impressive. Let's keep going here. New Orleans at the New York Football Giants. 13-16 was the final score. You would almost expect a shootout from the scene, especially from New Orleans. I think they're declining. I don't know what the heck's going on out there. They're 0-2, I want to say, as well. Yeah, they're 0-2, so I don't know what they'll do over there in New Orleans. Maybe they'll start to panic. I don't know what the heck's going on. But the Giants, 13-16, really not an impressive win. I mean, Eli. It is not looking like Eli. Kind of a snorer of a game. See, the line said Giants by 4.5, and then went down to 4, and they did not cover. I didn't pick this game. I just thought it was too close. And as we take a look here, the Giants won by 3, so actually New Orleans ended up covering that spread. Just for all you guys that are into the lines or Vegas odds and whatnot. Let's see. Okay, we're going to cover one more, and then I'm going to cut this tape down. Okay, San Francisco at Carolina. I was actually watching this game attentively because at the beginning of the game, San Francisco came on strong. I mean, they put up 27 points. Last week they put up 28 points when, against the Rams. 27 points. However, they put most of those points up early in the game. Carolina came roaring back, considering that this is the biggest line in the whole NFL this last week at 13.5. It did come down to 12.5. Means people were taking San Francisco, giving them props for what they did last week, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's just the end. Carolina ended up covering. Carolina's the real deal. I like Carolina. I mean, I picked them last. I picked them. They're a contender, basically. They're to win a division. Yeah, you might say they can win a division. Like I said, I think they're a contender. They really put up some big points. I mean, granted, it's the 49ers, but I still like Cam. Cam's throwing. I think the biggest takeaway from that one, as a matter of fact, is Cam. Cam putting up 4 touchdowns in week 1. Cam putting up 4 touchdowns again in week 2. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this tape down. It's been about 10 minutes, so I'll come back with the afternoon games, and then we'll wrap things out. I'll do the afternoon games and probably the rest of the week in the next section. All right, thanks, guys.